Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Sredna and I'm an artist and I like to paint nature scenes and fantasy scenes, and in today's video I'm going to be painting a image that I conjured up after reading the story The Tallow Candle by Hans Christian Andersen. So lately I've been looking into my favorite fairy tale authors and seeing what other stories that they've written that maybe not everyone is as familiar with. And so this is a story that he wrote in his earlier years, and it didn't end up being something that everyone knew about. And I forget where maybe they found it. It could have been in one of his personal journals where he just wrote stuff that he had ideas about, or maybe when he was a young kid kind of wrote it and stuff, but not really something that he was like, oh, I'm gonna show everybody all of this, just one of those, hey, I'm just here chilling out and writing, seeing where that creative energy takes me. And so I really enjoyed the way that he describes this one, because he's essentially pretending to be the candle and talking from its perspective. And so I shall paint along as I read you the story. So here we go. It sizzled and sprinkled while the fire blazed under the pot. It was the cradle of the tallow light, and out of the warm cradle the candle slid, whole, gleaming white and slender. It was formed in a way which made everybody who saw it believe that it would promise a bright and splendid future. And this promise, which was seen by everyone, it would truly keep and fulfill. The sheep, a dainty little sheep, was the mother of the candle, and the melting pot was its father. From its mother it had got its dazzling white body and an idea about life, but from its father it got desire for the blazing fire, which once would go through it to the marrow and shine for it in life. Yes, thus it was formed and cultivated, when it, with the best, the brightest expectations, threw itself into life. There it met so many curious fellow creatures whom it took up with, for it wanted to get to know about life, and maybe thereby to find the place where it best belonged. But the candle had far too much faith in the world. The world only cared about itself, and not at all about the tallow candle, since it could not understand what use it could be, and therefore tried to use to its own advantage, but handled it in the wrong way. Black fingers left bigger and bigger stains on the pure color of innocence. This gradually faded away and was completely covered with dirt from a surrounding world which had come far too close to it, much closer than the candle could withstand, since it had not been able to tell the pure from the impure, but deep inside it was still innocent and uncorrupted. Then the false friends perceived that they could not reach inside, and in anger they threw away the candle like a useless thing. All the good were kept away by the black layer on the outside. They were afraid to be smitten by the color, to get stained, so they kept away. Now the poor tallow candle was so lonely and forlorn, it had no idea what to do. It saw itself rejected by the good and realized that it had only been used as a means to forward evil. It felt so immensely ill-fated because it had lived its life to no use. Yet it might even have besmirched what was better by keeping it company. It could not fathom why, or for what it really had been made, why it was to live on this earth and maybe corrupt itself and others. More and more, deeper and deeper it pondered, but the more it thought, the greater its despondency became, because it could not find anything good, any real substance for itself, or see the end that it had been given when it was born. It was as if the black layer of soot had also covered its eyes. And then it came across a little flame, a tinderbox. It knew the candle better than the candle knew itself, for the tinderbox saw so clearly right through the outer layer, and inside it found so much good. Therefore it approached it, and bright conjectures were roused in the candle, It was lit, and the heart inside it melted. The flame blazed. Like a joyous marriage torch, everything became bright and clear, and the candle lit up the way for those around, its true friends, and successfully they now searched for the truth under the candle's vision. But the body was also strong enough to nourish and carry the blazing fire. Drop after drop, round and chubby, like sprouts of new life rolled down the candle, and with their bodies covered the dirt of the past. They were not just the corporeal, but also the spiritual result of the marriage. And the tallow candle had found its place in life, and proved that it was a real candle which shone for a long time, to the delight of itself and its fellow creatures. So thank you all for listening to this story. And what I did for the picture was I took a picture of myself, and I'll show you too in the video, where I dressed up in this Renaissance outfit that I had because I like to go to fairs and stuff. And then I made the candle part from a mold. I'll also have some pictures from that. And then I got this antique candle like stick holder. I was almost gonna get a tinderbox, but that looked a little more complicated to set up, and I really like the look of this golden like thing, candle holder. So then I like held it and I stood and took a picture and then used that as like the reference for the image. So, and I really wanted to show like the brightness of this candle, and that really reminds me of like how we feel when we feel like we have our purpose in life, or we have things that we, you know, feel like called to do, or like our passions, when we're like living in that, when we're happy, and how that is like a bright thing, and how it attracts other brightness in the world and other people also filled with that energy and that light. So yeah, that was my inspiration for this piece. And so when I started off, I was using like watercolor, and then I go into color pencils, and then I ended up scanning it in and then using Photoshop to kind of brighten up some areas, and yeah, just kind of do like the final touches. So yeah, that's it for this piece. Thank you so much for following along and watching the video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you later. Take care, everyone. Bye.